Good morning, Melissa. Thank you so much for joining me. And we haven't spoken yet, but I had a lovely conversation with Irene Kelly from Knox Environment Society. And one of the most fascinating things that came up is the study done by Graham Lorimer. I think it was back in 2004. And it kind of generated this whole program, the Rare and Threatened Species Program. And by identifying all of these indigenous plants that really need our care, what I got was that it then generated a whole kind of set of different volunteer groups at Knox Environment Society that has really turned into quite an enterprise. Can you map that out a little bit for me?
Yeah, it was a good time about 10 years ago. We've always had a good collection of volunteers and passionate people in our group, but around that time when Graham Lorimer did his study, which is absolutely massive study of the whole of Knox, there is well over 100 tiny little reserves and big reserves just hidden amongst our housing estates that you'd never know were even there. It's just incredible. He did this big study. He listed every single plant he could find, and then looked through historical documents of any plants listed in the area and had a good look at that, and really realized that there was a lot of plants that just weren't doing well anymore. A lot of plants that, because of housing developments and like Roval used to be swampland, and that's all houses now. So a lot of our wetland plants
Right.
and swampy plants are missing. So he realized that something needs to be done. So he went to the council and proposed to do this rare and threatened species study, put together the list of 78 of the most endangered plants in our area due to
Yeah.
housing and everything. So then the Knox Environment Society, joined up with the council and worked together to try and do what we could to protect these
Yeah.
species. It
It's great.
started off with yeah. So it started off with a meeting just to see what's
As
on the
these things
list,
do.
and yeah, it So we're gonna initially just split off. One person gets one reserve and another person gets another reserve, and go off. But we found it, some of these plants, because they're so rare in our area, we didn't know what they looked like.
Yeah.
So we started catching up in small groups to tackle these reserves together, do some proper surveying in lines and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of just built from there. It ended up being a weekly occurrence. We'd go out somewhere and look for plants. It was quite a bit of fun, and
Great.
yeah.
And what I love is the different groups that came up, and really the sense that people with different abilities and different interests were able to gravitate towards a particular group, because there were so many different parts to the chain that was needed. I mean, the hunters and gatherers out there actually finding and learning how to recognize these plants. And the seedy ladies, I love that title for their group, who gather to then they sit around the table chatting away, and then just gently sort of taking those seeds out of the plants, and then the propagators getting them ready to then distribute out. It's just such a wonderful cycle.
Yeah.
When did that really start to come together? Because that really then fueled a bit of an enterprise, really.
Yeah, I guess it was all around that same time, within a few months of beginning the Threatened Species Project. It was pretty quickly that we realised that we need more than just a couple of people cleaning the
Yeah.
seed, because if we don't clean it up, then the insects in them will eat all our seeds and we'll lose them.
Yeah.
It was not long after that where we started to get a little group together of seed cleaners, and of course we always had our propagators there ready to go, but we definitely needed a few more by that stage as well. So it's always it's so good because it's such a welcoming place. People can come up with absolutely no experience and just we'll throw them at something and they'll give it a try, and if they don't like it they can try something else.
Yeah, fantastic. Irene also pointed out to me that the age range at Knox Environment Society is pretty large for an organisation of this kind. Many societies of this kind attract older folk who maybe have left their careers and have got a bit more time. But there was something special about Knox Environment Society attracting a certain kind of student. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, it's really great for because we're open multiple days a week. We're not just stuck on weekdays like a lot of environmental groups are. We can
Yeah.
attract people, studying and they want to get their hands dirty. They don't just want to sit in the classroom all the time, but they just don't have the time on the weekends because they're doing their assignments and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just
Mm.
because we're open 3 days a week and we have other opportunities during the week as well. We've got a good range of times that people can just jump in, and there's no commitment. You don't have to come once a week or for that particular shift. You can just turn up whenever you want and pitch in.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And really everyone is there because they're passionate about it. And so I love that idea of the different generations interacting, the people that are really studying the science, having a chance to share that with the people that are turning up with no knowledge, but just some excitement about participating. And I think what was also really heartwarming is the sense that you're not you're not just looking after the local environment. There's actually a culture building going on there, and there's some really important relationships that get formed when people come together like this.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some wonderful people, and so many people have built great friendships and visit each other outside of this. Our CD ladies in particular often go out on the seniors tours at Knox, so they'll
Yeah,
all jump on a bus together and go on a tour somewhere, and yeah, absolutely great little community we have. And our morning teas are fairly famous, so we've got scones and cookies and coffee and cake, and yeah, we have a good little gathering, particularly on Saturday mornings.
fantastic. Now, obviously, we're talking today because this is part of Stringybark Festival, and Knox Environment Society has partnered with the festival over many years. Can you remember your first Stringybark?
Well, I grew up in Roval, so I was quite. I remember riding on the camels. I think. um, but yeah, my first stringy bark with the KS would have been probably a good 10 years ago.
Yeah, so around the time that this program was starting to shape this whole new dynamic,
Yeah,
and have you have you have you attended most Stringy Barks since then? Have you been involved?
yeah. I think I've been along to everyone with Irene since I started. I wasn't active straight into when I started because I was still studying then, but yeah, within a year
Yeah.
I was in, and yeah, pretty sure I don't think I skipped one.
I loved hearing from Irene how the interaction with the public evolved over those years. You started trying to give the plants away, and then you kind of you're standing on the stall, and you see someone that you spoke to 3 hours ago holding this thing in the hot sun, and you just know that it's never going to hit the ground, and you realize that actually charging people means that they end up with the people that are actually going to value them. Um, and then how that evolved into the Fauna Friends packs. Can you tell me a bit about those? I thought they were really excellent in terms of being efficient but also educational.
Yeah, so our fauna friends packs are a collection of three different species in a little paper bag. So you've got an instant carry handle already for a big festival.
Yeah,
And yeah, so we bring along a range of species with us, and then we can put together a pack that suits what you want for your garden. So we'll have a butterfly starter pack with nectar plants that will support butterflies or the caterpillar support plants. And then we've got a wildflower pack, which is just a nice mix of different wildflowers. We've got a bird friendly pack, so again for the nectar feeding birds, or often insect eating birds. So yeah, you just tell us basically what you want in your garden. If you want to attract more butterflies, you just tell us that, and we'll put 3 plants together in a bag for you and ready to go, instant butterfly garden.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Not only do you get the garden, you also get the story. You understand what it's for. And I'm hoping today that there's lots of viewers, participants in the festival that are really woken up to possibilities in their own gardens. So I guess when to it a bit more, that I hope there'll be people knocking on your door for these plants and maybe some of these Fauna Friends packs as well. Some great figures as well. I heard from Irene. Is it right? Did I get it right? It's about 50,000 plants a year you're propagating at the moment. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, roughly that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so such an important impact, and to take it from that study to see what was needed. It sounds like the response to that is starting to make positive change within the municipality. So, Melissa, is there anything else that you would like to share with festival goers, either about the society or just from yourself as a Knox resident, on this very strange but special Stringybark festival?
Yeah, well, just basically just come and visit us and say hello would be fantastic. Our passion is to talk to people and about the environment and plants and anything local. And we'd love you to just come down, have a wander around. We've got beautiful gardens you can have a look at. Um, and yeah, so we also check out our website and our Facebook, because we have outside of COVID, of course, we often run workshops and presentations, so all range of different subjects, environmental or sustainability, of course, but yeah, range of different subjects, and so yeah, check them out because
Right.
they're always fun and informative. You'll learn something, and yeah, come along to the nursery and have a look at some plants. And if you feel like helping out, we don't have any prerequisites. You can just
Yeah.
jump in and we'll show you what to do, and you might make some friends along the way.
Yes, no doubt. That's a certainty. So I'm gonna close this off now with one final question. Is do you have a favorite plant? And I wonder if it might have anything to do with email address as well. But maybe that's not your favorite plant.
I do love the chocolate lilies, but I picked that one because most plants aren't easy to spell in an email. I don't know if I've got a favorite. I've got favorite groups. I love pea flowers. Actually, I think
Yes.
pea flowers are my favorite range
Yeah.
of plants. There, so many. They're just so cute. They're little
Yeah.
round faces, and yeah, I think pea flowers.
Yeah.
I don't think I could go down specific to species. Too much.
That's fine. That's fine. I think I'm with you there. There's something almost human about the way they sort of look out at you.
Yeah,
Or maybe our face, maybe they look at our faces and go, "Oh, you're a bit like flowers, you guys." Anyway,
maybe.
look, thank you ever so much. Thank you ever so much for joining me. And this video is going to be posted on the Knox City Council YouTube channel for posterity, for people to take in at their own time. And hopefully some of the people that check it out, I'm talking to you right now, anyone that's watching, will be drawn to the nursery at Ferntree Gully and may even find themselves volunteering, learning, connecting, and helping improve Knox's natural environment. Thank you so much, Melissa.
No worries. Thank you for taking an interest in our little group and showing the world.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure.